Hey guys, it's Maris. Welcome back to Harpies in the Trees, where I review horror books with a supernatural focus. Today is going to be a little bit different of a vlog video, vlog edition. Today I'm going to read the books here, and then we're going to take a walk over to the cemetery because it is a beautiful sunny day, and then I'm going to tell you about the books over there. So it's going to be really pretty. I woke up, I made my coffee. So I actually saw this on TikTok. It's called Greek iced coffee. You use 1 tablespoon of instant coffee, and I put 2 teaspoons of sugar. You put a little bit of water, and then you use one of these to get it really frothy and foamy. You add some ice, you add a little bit of water, and then you add, whatever type of milk product you want to use. I use a plant-based one, but this is so good and so easy. I drank it, it is all gone. I have no more ice, so I can't make any more at the moment. Me and some patrons on my Patreon are reading The Ring together, doing a few chapters a day. I missed yesterday because it was a really big work day, but we're doing it and we're discussing it on Discord. And we just started, so it's like just 2 chapters in so far. I'm like at page 20. It's interesting. I haven't gotten too far with it, but so far it's interesting. I just also finished up the comic for Penny Dreadful. This was really cool, and I think I'm going to go ahead and review this with Ramina when I get to that, and I'm going to try and get to that soon, like maybe this week. But this was really nice because we got to see some familiar characters, and it was just so nice to see them again. I loved this show so much. I loved all of the characters, which I think is kind of rare, in a show. I'm also still trying to work on these 2 books. I'm almost done with this one. It's very good, it's very fun. I only have a few more pages left, so I'm hoping maybe I can just actually finish this today, which would be really awesome. And with this one, I'm like pretty much right in the middle, and I just haven't been in the mood for it. I do like it, and it is interesting. It's just like I just haven't been feeling it so much, so I will try to read a little bit of this today. It would feel good to just get a couple chapters in, because I really haven't been able to read as much as I wanted. And even though I'm tired and I know that I'm busy with work and that's like, really important to do, I'm craving reading, but I've been so tired that I just haven't had the energy to do so. So hopefully a little bit of this. And so for the main course, I guess, of what the vlog is going to be about today, I decided to choose some novellas because this will be an easier kind of a read for me, I think, at the moment. But I decided to start with Nothing But Blackened Teeth today. I'm very excited about this. I've heard so many things about it. I love it. I didn't love it. So I'm very curious about this. And this is an indie horror author. Don't know anything about them. I got this in my last book haul, and it's The Haunting of Hacket House, and it's just like a haunted house story, so I'm very intrigued about that. If you're a patron, I'm going to be doing a book haul on Discord, and you guys can help me pick what books to buy. I'll be sharing my screen, and we're going to be shopping on worldofbooks.com, so that's going to be really fun. So if you're a patron, head over to Discord and join me for that. I'm going to be doing this on, I believe it's this Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday. I'll put the dates here. So I'm going to go over to my bed, and I'm going to lay there and just do some reading. Do a couple of chapters of each one, and then I'll come back and we're gonna go to the cemetery. I have my cemetery beret here. Isn't this so cute? This is what I wear like almost every day. You guys know that I have alopecia areata and I have some patches and stuff, so this just makes me feel more comfortable, but it also looks just super, super cute. Like, look at it. So cute. I need to pick some bookmarks for these, so let's choose a Dr. Sleep one for The Haunting of Hacket House, a really pretty Mina and the Undead Moon bookmark for Nothing But Blackened Teeth, and I think I chose, what did I choose? Oh yeah, and an abominable book club bookmark, which I think is just perfect for The Ring. Yay! Okay, I'm going to go to Discord. An update in the channel that we have for the buddy read. I missed yesterday, so I just want to type in my thoughts. Read 2 chapters. What I really like about Discord is they have the option where you can censor like sentences so you don't spoil it for other people, just in case people go into the channel who are not doing the buddy read and see it, you know. So it's really, really nice, and I like that because now I can kind of talk about things a little bit more in depth that were bothering me or whatever, so it's really, really fun. Now let's go to the cemetery. So there's actually really not a lot of people here because it's a little bit early actually. So I found this bench, but it was way too hot. So I took a walk further down and I saw this bench, and this just looks really nice and shady. A lot of birds are singing. When I came to the bench, this like little red squirrel scared the poop out of me. I like walked to the bench and it like burst out of some of the leaves on the bottom, and it just stared at me like, haha, I got you. So it's a really, really beautiful day. Like, it's just like insanely nice. It's the perfect weather. The birds are going crazy. The bugs are flying around everywhere. So let's talk about this book. So I read 30 pages, or 32 pages, so I got to chapter 2. Okay, so I understand why a lot of people were kind of complaining about the writing style. So there are like a lot of analogies. There's like a lot of really big words that like I don't know what they mean, and they feel a little bit out of place, you know. One word was cordillera, referring to someone's part of their cheekbone or something. So there's a lot of that. So it really depends on what your tolerance is for those kind of things. So where I've gotten with right now is that the main character, Kat, yeah, Kat's her name. So she is with a friend of hers, a guy friend, and they've arrived in Japan at this like ancient building that somehow they have like a permit to stay the night there. It's not a building like it has rooms and beds and stuff. It's pretty much kind of a ruin. And they have 2 mutual friends who are there as well, who are engaged. And there is a lot of history between these people. So there's a lot of tension, and but especially between Kat and the other woman of the group. They do not like each other. There's a lot of beef there. But Kat seems to be very close with the guy that she came with, who is sort of like this Adonis in her eyes, you know. He's like this, he's very wealthy, he's very attractive, he's like conventionally attractive, you know. He is a nice person, but he's also like really thirsty for women. So she kind of has like an issue with this, and she's also really jealous of him. Like, she's jealous of his beauty, his ability to charm people, and she brings it up a lot, and I find that to be a little bit off-putting for, you know, to her character. Like, so right now I'm like, I don't really like her that much because she's just very like hyper focused on his beauty. And it just seems like she really wants to be him, you know, like she wants what he has, she just really can't admit it. So we're kind of getting to understand like the dynamic between the group and what's going on. But Kat has this, it seems like she's picking up on something that's either real or not real. We don't really know yet about the place they're staying, this ancient ruin. You know, there's something spooky here, but is it in her mind? Is she just making it up? Like, you know, kind of like when you go somewhere that looks like it could be haunted, like maybe your imagination runs wild. It's like kind of that type of thing. It's interesting, and I like it so far. But you know, I do pick up on some of the stuff that people are complaining about. But I really like the setting. I think it's really cool. I mean, a haunted, ancient Japanese mansion of some sort. Just, yeah, I'm totally into that. There was a really cool line in here though, when she started describing, what's his name? Oh, his name is Philip. She's kind of describing Philip a little bit, and like they had went to some store where Philip was buying something, and like the woman at the convenience store gave him her number, you know, because he's so good looking, you know. And there's this line here that was really great. Let me find it. Here it is. It's on page 13. She says, Philip always folds for wolves in girl skin clothing, because this woman had like just really perfect makeup, and she was just kind of exuding this like femininity, you know. But maybe she's a man killer, you know. I think a few of the things that I'm already kind of thinking about for this story is, so the mansion has this history that's connected to a wedding night that went wrong, and that's like the history of the place. I don't want to give you too many more details than that. And so they have one couple there that are engaged to be married. So I'm assuming that's going to play into that. So let's talk about The Haunting of Hacket House. I read the intro and I read the first chapter. And it's really interesting. It's a little bit hard to describe. So the introduction is kind of just talking about this. He almost reads like a boy, but he's a grown adult. But I think that's like maybe part of his character. He is like back at his father's house, and he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't really have a relationship with his father. And the house itself has like this thing of clocks that are always ticking, and like the sound of the clocks ticking kind of drowns out everything. And this is kind of one of the like feelings of, I think, of like suffocation or dread in this introduction. So he is like trying to get back to his room, because I guess, you know, he's staying there. His dad's sick, or actually I think his dad is supposed to be dead, but he can't find his room. Like he keeps going down a hallway that's not his hallway. At some point he finds himself in his dad's room, and at the foot of his dad's bed is a dog. Well, okay, it's not at the foot of the bed, but it's like on the floor next to the bed. And it's a dog, but it's not a dog. It's this like transparent, kind of yellowish, doggish looking thing. But when it turns around, it has a human face, and it starts barking. It's crazy. And so then he like runs away, and eventually he thinks he's here. He hears like this dog after him, and he ends up back into his dad's room again, and his dad is not dead. It's pretty bizarre. So then we go into the first chapter, and there's this woman who has left her old job. She cares for the elderly, so she's like a living caretaker, and she has applied for this new job at Hacket House, and she is on her way there. And when she gets there, of course, there's no one there waiting for her. But there's a really interesting paragraph that sort of talks about what she kind of like goes through as a care worker. I'll just read it to you. So this new patient that she's going to be caring for at Hacket House, like they told her that he pretty much doesn't do anything. Like he's just lays in bed. Sometimes he cries out, but that's pretty much it. And she's thinking like, oh, this is nice, because a lot of the times there's a lot of other things that patients do that can be really unnerving. And she describes it as this. She says, what was important to Jane was that it meant no endless wandering, attempts to get into bed with her, or impossible to answer questions and mind games. More importantly still, the old man was apparently relatively docile. No lashing out, spitting, or attempting to claw the flesh from her arms when she worked to prevent pressure sores, or the skin deterioration known in children as nappy rash. Compared to some of the people with dementia she had known, he sounded positively angelic. So this sounds like a really good thing for her, like something that's actually going to be like chill and like maybe a nice experience. And there's gonna be like other people there living at the house, and I'm assuming it's like the son that we talked about earlier. So she's like, oh, I'll have company and it won't be so lonely. So she takes this long train ride, and of course she gets to this desolate, empty, small town, little train stop, and no one's there to get her like they said they would be. So already starting off to a bad start. But it sounds interesting. I love this dog with the human face thing. I really love that. That sounds so weird and creepy, and like, you know, what does that mean? Does that mean like the son might have dementia, or is this house really, is there something really going on with this house, you know? So let's go ahead and just read another chapter, see where this takes me. Okay, so I just finished chapter 2, and so far it's kind of just more of this group of people still sort of not hiding their not real animosities, but like issues with each other. And this other character has now come in. His name is Lynn, and he's definitely friends with Kat, and so she's like really excited he's there because it seems like, you know, she feels very comfortable with him, and the other woman is just really annoyed that he's there for some reason. So it's not exactly all clear like what all of their histories are yet, but they're preparing a really big feast, and that's kind of like where we left it off in chapter 2. Do another chapter of Hacket House and see if there's any human-faced dogs that show up. Someone has come to pick her up at the gas station, so that, or not the gas station, the gas station, the train station. So that's a good thing. And it seems like it's a butler or something, and his name is Atticus, which is like Atticus, what a particular name, you know. I feel like it's like a name that you only see in books, but whatever. So he picks her up and he's like, did you know that this house is haunted? She's like, no. And she kind of goes on to say like, you know, I've worked in care home facilities where people die all the time, and people always say it's haunted, and I've never experienced anything spooky or supernatural. And he's like, oh well, you know, Hacket House is different, you know, it has this reputation and this like history and stuff. And then he goes on to talk about his wife, and he's like, my wife died, and we live on a cottage near the house, and it's this really beautiful cottage, and she really loved it. She loved it way more than she loved me, and we didn't really get along. So when she passed away, it really wasn't that horrible for me. Like, we were just together because we were. And so I guess she had some accident. She fell and she hit her head and she died. Do you think she ever came back to like make my life miserable like she loved to do? And he's like, no, she didn't. And then it's like that conversation kind of ends. And he's like, are you feeling okay? And she's like, yeah. Why? And he's like, you don't feel sick? She's like, no. Should I be feeling sick? He's like, oh well, you know, these roads are really windy and twisty, and people kind of get car sick. And she's like, no. So it's kind of funny. It's like, you know, what's he setting her up for? Kind of a funny conversation. I don't know. But it was kind of fun to read. So we'll see where it goes. So now it's almost 4. I need to get home because my work day is beginning. So we're gonna end our reading vlog here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this vlog and the birds. If you liked this video, please like and comment down below. And if you want more videos from me, please do subscribe. Other than that, please take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and I will talk to you next time.